I may have stolen Chester's beanie, but don't let that distract you, my little kolaches. We're going to be looking at red for Secrets of Strixhaven for pre-release. Here are some of the commons and uncommons that I think will serve you well. Starting out with Ancestral Anger. Cost 1 sorcery. Target creature gains trample and gets X plus 0 until end of turn. X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard and draw a card. This is really nice. You get, single mana, draw a card, and these come in at common, so you might be able to land like 4+. Because remember, in pre-release, you can have more than the 4-card limit you will typically see in Standard, Modern, such and such. So yeah, you can have a whole bunch of these. You're going to be getting the +1s, and you're going to be getting the card draw. And trample. That's like the cherry on top of this cake. Alright, we have Artistic Process, a 5-drop sorcery. Choose 1. Artistic Process deals 6 damage to target creature. That's a little rough. However, Artistic Process can deal 2 damage to each creature you don't control. Seems like a very nice asymmetrical potential board wipe. I like this. You're at least going to discourage them from blocking because their creatures might die. Or you can create a 3/3 blue and red elemental creature token with flying. It gains haste at the end of turn. I also like that. I still think the middle is where the sweet spot is, and it's 5 mana, which means you're going to trigger a lot of the Opus cards. You will see some of those later. This is good. Holy Ramp Batman, Blazing Firesinger is here. A 3-drop Dwarf Bard 2/3 that comes in prepared, and you can cast 3 mana to do a Seething Song and instant cast that adds 5 red mana. You can do this, and then boom, you're going to be triggering Opus cards, giving them the double strike or what other benefits they may have. And again, if you're playing Boros, you can bounce this card very likely with some of those spells, re-prepare it, and recast it. This might be a game ender type card. I love this card. This is really, really strong. Riding in, we have Charging Strife Knight, a 3-drop Spirit Knight 3/3 with haste. That alone, really cool. But you can also tap this card to discard a card and to draw a card. I like that a lot. Extra little utility there. This is a good little card. I almost didn't include this card because it just feels weird to me. This is Dual Tactics, a 1-drop sorcery. Dual Tactics deals 1 damage to target creature, and it can't block this turn and has flashback for 2 mana. The can't block's kind of whatever. The 1 damage feels weak. It is only 1 mana, but I think that 1 mana can be better spent elsewhere. You may like this card. I'm iffy on it. Alright, we spoke about Opus earlier, and here we go. We have Expressive Fire Dancer, a 2-drop 2/2 with Opus. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +1 till the end of turn. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast the spell, this creature also gains double strike until the end of turn. I don't think your game plan should be Opus. They should be like nice to haves, but a 2-drop 2/2 isn't terrible, especially if you can get kind of this wonky prowess going on. You might be able to get something done with it. I do like these, just be careful. Alright, we have Garrison Excavator, a 4-drop Orc Sorcerer 3/4 with Menace. However, whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 red-white spirit creature token. You're going to be doing that a lot if you're playing Boros, so this card can give you a lot of value. It is a little expensive to get out, but hey, if you can get it out and start generating tokens, it will help you overrun your opponent. What do we love here? Goblins. And here we go. We have Goblin Glassrite, a 2-drop Goblin Sorcerer 2/2 that comes in prepared, and you can spend 1 to craft with Pride, and that just creates a treasure token for a sorcery, which will trigger Opus triggers. Keep that in mind. However, what I like about this, it's not a legendary, and you can bounce it to re-prepare it and then craft with Pride, getting more treasure tokens, and tokens will come up later, specifically artifact tokens, and you'll see why. Next is Impractical Joke, 1-drop Sork. Damage cannot be prevented this turn. Impractical Joke deals 3 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. I kind of waffle on this card. 1-drop 3 damage, but only for creatures and planeswalkers is a little iffy situational, but if you know your opponent's going to be playing planeswalkers, or you will sideboard this in, I think it might work out pretty good for you. Living History, great flavor text here. A 2-drop enchantment. When this enchantment enters, create a 2/2 red-white spirit creature token, which you could bounce and make happen again. However, whenever you attack, if a card left your graveyard this turn, target attacking creature gets +2 till the end of turn. Again, Boros is going to be doing this. You're going to be getting benefits. You're going to be able to get in +2s. Granted, it's only going to happen 1 time. Not bad, though. I still think this is a decent little card to have. Next up, we have the Chad, Micah, Reader of Ruins. I love this card. I expect people to make commander decks all over the place over this card. A 4-drop Human Artificer 4/4 with Ward, pay 3 life. That's awesome. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may sack an artifact. If you do, copy that spell and you may choose new target for that copy. Whip the card from earlier, but we're able to create the treasure tokens. Boom, you can just sack those and have double casting. Amazing. I love this card. All right, we have Pigment Wrangler, a 5-drop sorcerer 4/4 with flying. This creature enters prepared, and what is it prepared to do? Striking Palette, 1 mana sorcery. Whenever you next cast an instant or sorcery spell, you're going to copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that copy. A little expensive to get on the board, but hey, again, if you can bounce this, you could re-prepare it and then cast it again. Again, also, these are going towards Opus triggers. All of this works together. This can kind of go both the ways of Izzet or Boros, even though I think they're kind of pushing Izzet with the whole paint theme. But hey, not a bad card, a little expensive, but it's not bad. Again, 4/4 flyer. I just plugged out some nose hairs before hitting record. I'm sure this guy has the same problem. Rubble Rouser, a 3-drop dwarf 1/4. When this creature enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. That already is not too bad value. However, you can tap this card to exile a card from graveyard. Add 1 red mana. When you do, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Sure, that may sound commandery on that last part, but I think if you can get 1 or 2 of these out, you're going to be exiling cards from your graveyard, getting extra mana, and then pinging your opponent. I don't think this is a bad card. A little expensive, but hey, if you have nothing else, slot this in. This might surprise you. And speaking of surprises, this surprised me. For an uncommon, this might be one of the best mana rocks, at least in recent memory. I love this card. Tablet of Discovery, a 3-drop artifact in red. Obviously, when this artifact enters middle card, you may play that card this turn. You could tap it for 1 red or tap it for 2. However, the 2 must be spent to cast an instant or sorcery only. This is awesome. 2 mana for that. You're going to be doing that every turn. If you're playing red, you're going to be casting spells. You're going to be casting instants and sorceries. Or from the creature side, the little deals on the bottom right of the box. Fantastic card. You should be playing this if you get it. This feels like a situational card, but we have Thunderdrum Soloist, a 2-drop dwarf bard 1/3. Bard, can't say bard. Reach. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. If 5 or more was spent, it does 3 damage to each instead. This is a little fringe. The reach is nice because there are a lot of flyers here, it seems. But I don't know if I would hard slot this if you got it, but it's not terrible. Just be cautious if you play it. All right, now we're going to the dual colors. Borrow Knowledge to 4-drop in Boros. Choose 1, discard your hand, then draw cards equal to the number of cards in target opponent's hand. I think that's where the value is here. Discard your hand, then draw cards equal to the number of cards discarded this way. If your opponent's turtling and has a lot of cards and you have like 2 with this being one of them, pitch that bad boy and all of a sudden, boom, you got a hand of fresh cards. I like this a lot. Apparently everyone in Boros is working out. We have Keyroll History buff in Boros, 2-drop. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, Keyroll becomes prepared. He is a 2/3 that can pack a punch for 3 mana in Boros. Sorcery, mill a card, put 2+1 counters on target creature. It gains trample to the end of turn. You're removing cards from your graveyard in Boros, so you're going to be able to do pack a punch quite often. This is a really strong card in my opinion, and you should play it if you get it. You know how I've been liking the charms in the last few videos, and this one also does not disappoint. Lorehold Charm in Boros. Instant. Choose 1. Each opponent sacks a non-token artifact of their choice. Return target artifact or creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I like that. And creatures you control get +1 and gain trample till the end of turn. This is a lot of value in all 3 slots there, but yeah, pick the one that best works for you. If you get more than 1 of these, slot them in. All right, we have Molten Note, which is X with Boros there. Molten Note deals damage to target creature equal to the amount of mana spent to cast this spell. Untap all creatures you control. Bear in mind, X is not just the X cast, it's all the mana spent to cast it, and you untap all creatures. Do this after your combat phase, and boom, you have a whole bunch of blockers. I think this is really strong. All right, we have Practiced Scrollsmith in Boros with the weird hybrid mana there. So we have 3 total mana. First strike, 3/2 dwarf. When this creature enters, exile target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard until the end of your next turn. You may cast that card. Good value. The 3/2 at first strike's really strong. This is a really good card. If you're playing Boros, put them in. Next up, we have Pursue the Past in Boros, 2-drop sorcery. You gain 2 life. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. That is just awesome. I can stop there, but you can also flashback this for 4 mana total. Really strong. All right, next up we have Spirit Mascot, also 2-drop in Boros, Spirit Ox, 2/2. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1 counter on this creature. Get them out early, get those cards out of your graveyard, and you're going to build this guy up. And I love that the flavor text. They're unflagging, unafraid, and undaunted. All about it. This one was wonky, but I like it. Startled Relic Sloth, 4-drop in Boros. Creature Sloth Beast, 4/4 with trample and lifelink. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. That alone made me want to include it. I think this is a little niche though, but I do like it. I think you should play it if you at least get one. And there we have the cards in red. I know this is long-winded and I'm running out of time here, but please like, share, tell me I'm dumb in the comments. Did I pick good cards? Let me know. This has been a fun series of videos to do, and I'll catch y'all when I do green next, coming up before you know it.